entertaining, and mind-boggling.
We are doomed. We are doomed. Members of parliament, we are doomed. I'm telling you.
The savage netizens capturing that unique moment. The Nairobi International Trade Fair is on. From the 23rd of September to the 29th, visit the Jamhuri Park Showground, Nairobi. There will be plenty of entertainment, food, innovations, and learning activities. You can also sample unique variety of products from local and international companies in agri-tech innovation and general trade. Call us on 0715 760 769. Email on trade@nitf.ask.co.ke.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wembiro. Sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Well, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up this afternoon. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media handle at KBC Channel 1. Now, to kick off the broadcast. Now, preparations for the interdenominational memorial service for the 21 victims of the Hillside and Academy fire tragedy are underway. The memorial will be held Thursday at Mwege Stadium. We now link up with our reporter JJ Curia, who's currently at the Mwege Stadium where preparations are underway, to give us an update of what's currently happening.
Thank you, Jackie Wambiro, back at Broadcasting House. We're coming live to you from Mwega Stadium. Final touches are being done here, and this will be the venue of the memorial service for the 21 children who perished at the Hillside and Academy. Initially, that service was supposed to be conducted today, but then again, to accommodate other interests, of course, it was pushed to tomorrow. Well, I'll just show you what is happening here on the ground, probably before I tell you what else is happening. That is where the dais will be, and I'm assuming that's where the priests will be, and dignitaries will be somewhere around here, in terms of, you know, as they gather together to mourn the death of the 21 children who died in the fire incident. What you're seeing there, that's a meeting that is ongoing between the county governor, Governor Mutahi Kahiga, and the security team in Nyeri. Of course, the final preparations as the program takes shape in terms of how it will look tomorrow. That's a meeting ongoing, bringing together the county security team and the governor Mutahi Kahiga. On the other side, that's where members of the public will be seated, and you can see final touches really being done there in terms of the arrangement of seats, as well as even the installation of a sound system to ensure that everything is in shape and in good place, of course, as the country prepares to mourn tomorrow the death of the 21 children who died in the fire incident. A horrific scene that was about 2 weeks ago when a fire broke out and burnt the boys' dormitory, and 21 children died from it. This exercise was supposed to be, or rather initially, the matching of DNA for parents and the children was supposed to take a month, but then again, the government was able to introduce experts that were really able to match the DNA of children and their parents within 2 weeks, and that process has already completed. So from tomorrow, the memorial service and then the interment of the remains of those children, scheduled for different dates, but within Nyeri County, and particularly in Kieni West, where most of the children, or the crux of most of the number of children were coming from. That is Kieni West of Nyeri County. The service is tomorrow, and we'll be giving you more details in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, let me hand you back to Jackie Wambiru at Broadcasting House.
Well, that is our reporter John Jacob Curie joining us from Mwege Stadium, painting a picture of the preparations that are currently underway at the stadium for the interdenominational memorial service for the 21 victims of the Hillside Academy fire tragedy. Well, the memorial service will be held on Thursday. We shall be keeping you updated. For now, we move on. The Ministry of Lands says it has put in place strategies to ensure all land records are digitized across the 47 counties within 5 years. Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome revealed so far they have operationalized digital lands records in Nairobi and Murang'a County, and the process was ongoing in Mombasa, Isiolo and Marsabit counties. This as a Deputy Chief of Staff Eli Dewalo and the Secretary to the Cabinet Mercy Wanjau challenged the State Department of Lands to embrace performance contracting to improve productivity and service delivery.
As we continue with this exercise, coming towards the end of the year, when we pause and examine what is working, what is not working, why is it not working, and what can we do about it, so that going forward we are informed on what changes we need to make. After looking at the performance contract, we will also be looking at a number of other parameters to inform us on the steps that the ministry has taken in discharging its mandate to Kenyans.
The ministry has an annual work plan on the basis of which it is operationalizing its strategic plan and also aligned to our bottom-up economic transformation agenda over and above other policy frameworks such as MTP4 of the Kenya Vision 2030.
Maybe within the next 4 or 5 years, if we are properly funded, we will be able to address the question of digitization nationally, because you wanted to know where we are. To be able to deal with all our registries, the whole country.
Huduma Kenya Secretariat has written to the Social Health Authority to utilize the Huduma centers across the country to ease registration for the new health scheme. Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Human Capital Development Justin Muturi appeared before the Senate on Wednesday morning, acknowledged that the ministry does not have the authority to force agencies to use Huduma centers, and said it was appalling to see only 1.2 million Kenyans so far registered for SHA. Muturi also clarified that there is no budgetary allocation for Huduma centers.
Also, you seem to be begging MPs and counties and state departments to uptake or to facilitate the Huduma services. So my question is this. Is it, we have 5 days to go before we move from NHIF to the SHA. Is your ministry and Huduma services being utilized to fast track the transition of all of those who have paid and are members of NHIF to the SHA arrangement, in order for us to avert any crisis in our health facilities come 1st October 2024?
Since I think 2 weeks ago, I have been appalled by the information that has been coming through, that only a paltry 1.2 million Kenyans have so far registered. I think it's a matter that should worry everybody who really is intent on seeing the success of the rolling out of the universal health coverage, if it has to really be seen to cover the entire country. But as of today, our CEO at the Huduma Kenya Secretariat has written to the Social Health Authority, asking them to utilize the services available at the Huduma centers to register more Kenyans into the SHIF.
President William Ruto has acknowledged the power of multilateralism in fostering transformative global partnerships in combating HIV and AIDS. Speaking during a high-level meeting on HIV in New York, the head of state said effective multilateralism allowed Kenya to engage with the joint United Nations program on HIV, greatly enhancing resource mobilization efforts, advocating the rights of persons living with HIV and AIDS, and providing inclusive support.
On the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, President William Ruto co-hosted the leadership in sustaining the HIV response meeting, where he advocated for the rights of persons living with HIV and AIDS and providing inclusive support.
With declining external funding, it is imperative that we develop robust mechanisms to make our HIV response funding more predictable and more efficient.
Kenya is the chair of UNAIDS board. Latest data by the Ministry of Health show that over the past decade, new infections have decreased by 83% in Kenya from 101,488 cases in 2013 to 16,752 in 2023. Additionally, AIDS-related mortality has declined by 65% from 58,446 deaths in 2013 to 20,478 in 2023.
Kenya is now close to achieving epidemic control, having met the 95-95-95 global targets. 95% of people know their HIV status in Kenya. 102% of those diagnosed are receiving treatment, and 97% of those on treatment have achieved viral suppression.
President Ruto then attended a high-level event on securing the health and well-being of every woman, child and adolescent hosted by South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa.
We have pledged to enhance partnerships and establish a dedicated fund for maternal and child health. This fund will help advance progress towards SDGs by improving service delivery and expanding access to essential care.
We also call on academics and civil society to continue to provide evidence and compelling arguments so that urgent political attention and action can be taken, including investment in the health that affects women, children, and adolescents.
President Ruto adding that the government has deployed community health promoters to deliver crucial medical care directly to the grassroots, ensuring the well-being of women, children and other vulnerable groups for a sustainable future in Kenya.
We have also expanded what initially we called Edu Afya, or Education Afya, where we had an insurance program for all our secondary school children. And our new program, we have expanded that to include every child from primary school to age 18.
Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
The Religious Organizations Bill of 2024 continues to elicit mixed reactions from church leaders across the country. The latest to weigh in on the proposed law is a section of the clergy in Embu County who have called it punitive and offensive to the freedom of worship. If enacted, churches will be compelled to pay taxes on income, gifts or profits generated from lawful activities. The bill also bars religious teachings to a child without the consent of their parent or guardian.
Wachungaji wameitwa katika mwito wao, na pia wale ambao wako kwa serikali tunawachagua wakafanye kazi kwa ajili ya kunufaisha taifa. Tafadhali ili jambo likasimamishwe kwa jina la Yesu.
When you bring anything that is wrong, that is contrary to what we believe, we have got to stand against it at any time, whether night or day. So kama hiyo miswada ni kweli inataka kuletwa kwa taifa la Kenya na mengine kwamba ipitishwe, kwa hiyo mkaona ni mwanze kusukuma kanisa, ndio siku hiyo ikifika upate hatuna focus. We are focused na hatuwezi kufanya hiyo.
This from the office of the president are in Turkana County to inspect projects started under Kenya Kwanza administration as the government marks 2 years in power. The officers urge contractors to speed up projects and deliver within the expected timelines. They noted the slow pace of some construction such as the Lokichar market, which has cost taxpayers 59 million shillings.
Tutahakisha ya kwamba mwanakandarasi ametia bidii na ya kwamba pia vijana wapo wameajiriwa kwa wingi, na ni amri ya ofisi ya rais ya kwamba haya yatekelezwe. Tumewapatia wiki 2 wakuwe wamesuluhisha changamoto ambazo wako nazo.
A section of students and youth leaders from Mount Kenya region have entered the political discourse between President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, calling for abandonment of attempts to impeach the DP. Led by Dennis Kangi, the Secretary General of Kenya University Students Organization, they urged politicians to shun petty politics and address real issues such as the ongoing lecturer strike.
According to our constitution, the presidency is the one ticket, whereby you have the president and his deputy president. And therefore, we voted for them both at the ballot box. Therefore, they cannot be separated.
Instead of addressing the real issues that affect the people, our schools and universities remain paralyzed by the strikes. Instead of focusing on solutions, some of our MPs have chosen to engage in betrayal.
Messy, noisy, smoking, and
in other news, a section of residents in Busia County took to the streets to protest over poor governance. The angry residents who marched from Bomala Market decried poor healthcare services and the bad state of roads in the area, calling on Governor Paul Tuomer to intervene. However, their efforts to submit their petition to Tuomer were in vain after being stopped by the police from accessing the governor's office.
Insecurity imekuwa chini kabisa. Sababu ni ya kubomoa soko, tumekosa mahali pa kufanya biashara, hadi vijana wamegeuka wezi sahi sasa.
Matibabu iko juu, hata tibiwa madawa utapimwa na utaandikiwa, na ukienda kununua madawa utapata madawa ni bei kali kwa chemist. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali ya gavana wetu huyu Otuoma angalie kwanza hospitali kabisa, ili usalama wa hospitali tukue na afya, tupate vile watu wanatibiwa.
Tuoma tulikupatia notisi ya siku 10 na tumeanza leo maandamano yetu, na hii maandamano ni mpaka gavana asikize mambo ambayo tunataka kama wananchi wa Busia.
Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza has dismissed claims of misuse of funds in the county, terming them misleading. The governor, who was responding to a report on the county's extravagance, which claims 521 million shillings was used in hospitality alone, said according to the county records, only 336.7 million shillings was spent by both the county executive and the county assembly in hospitality, and the rest was spent in other utilities. He, however, acknowledged that the county's vast administrative structure takes the lion's share of the county's budget.
Because what has been reported as extravagant use of funds in Kakamega County on hospitality amounting to 521 million is incorrect. For the records, the 521 million is a breakdown of various cost centers. Kakamega, one of the biggest cost drivers is the number of staff. You cannot compare the number of staff in Kakamega County, who are almost 10,000, with the number of staff in Isiolo County, for example, because Isiolo has only 2 sub-counties. Kakamega administratively has 12 sub-counties. We have 6 wards. We have 400 community areas.
Teachers in Homa Bay County have called on the public to acquire basic sign language skills to better support children who have hearing and speech impairment. The appeal is part of a broader initiative to promote inclusivity and ensure children with hearing and speech challenges are active in the society. Speaking during an awareness walk in Homa Bay Town, the principal of Nyangweso School for the Deaf, Anne Akinyi, emphasized the need for supportive environments at home and in schools. He noted that learning sign language can help parents improve communication with their children, boost educational outcomes, and reduce social isolation.
In this activity. So today we came to sensitize the community in this town more about us. We are a deaf community.
We want an inclusive society where the deaf are fully included in the society. Wherever they go, they can be communicated to and they can also communicate to others. Each and every person must have even a basic sign language skill so that they can be communicated.
Well, on that note, we shall be taking a short break here on Lunchtime News. However, don't go too far. We still have more news coming up in business and sports.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out. Who's the man in this one?
And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevatishwa. Sisi wakati tulikuwa tunapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. Kiambu County Assembly adjourned sessions to eulogize their departed colleague Ezra Kakamega, who died in a road accident on Sunday along the Thika Super Highway. County Assembly Speaker Charles Thiongo and the County Assembly Forum Chief Executive Officer Lorna Losem eulogized Ezra as a visionary and an astute leader who advocated for youth leadership across the county.
The Kiambu County Assembly and the entire Kiambu County government has lost a visionary and dedicated leader who was an advocate and proponent of youth leadership in our county. Honorable Ezra keenly mentored and held the hand of many young leaders across the county, guiding them on the path of leadership.
And on behalf of County Assemblies Forum, this is our 14th member that we are losing after the 2022 general elections, and it is sad for us, and we wish to condole with you and wish that he rests in peace, and also for the family, we will be with you at this difficult time.
Nyali Member of Parliament Mohammed Ali says complaints from the public is what prompted his petition on the proliferation of lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender and queer LGBTQ persons in the country. Appearing before the National Assembly's Petition Committee, Ali warned that the trend, if allowed to spread, would threaten not only the country's cultural fabric but also its youthful population and the institution of marriage.
Quran. The Almighty God has warned us in this. If you're a Christian, it's about Sodom and Gomorrah, same as to us, Kaumulut. And that's why you see most of them are always on the front line to make sure that we live in a good environment, in a conducive environment, as a community, as a family, as the teachings of the Almighty God.
We have a constitution which also has Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights talks of what everybody has his own rights. Do you see your petition conflicting with those Bill of Rights?
So the Bill of Rights stands for the right things. Because if you say that there is a Bill of Rights, then if somebody says it's my right to kill somebody else, then that's not a Bill of Rights. But if the Bill of Rights is for doing right things, that is where we come in and say, look, we are all human beings. The Bill of Rights protects each and every Kenyan, but on doing the right things.
Now, residents of Busia Township in Busia County have expressed dissatisfaction over the foul smell emanating from a sewage site in Mauko area within the county, which has rendered the residential area inhabitable. The residents have implored the county government to expedite the sewage treatment process to curb any spread of disease outbreaks.
Na kama wanaweza kuwa na akili ya kuitengeneza, basi waitengeneze, hata kama ni dawa waimwagie, iwe inaua ile harufu, ndio iwache kudhuru watu.
Ni hatari sana kwa afya yetu pamoja na watoto. Hata sisi tuko na watoto wadogo. Inapiti tunachungana tu na watoto wasikujie huku kwa sababu sewage haina fence. Kama serikali ingetusaidia kufence hii sewage, ingekuwa fatali.
And still on health matters, stakeholders in the health sector have called for heightened public awareness campaigns on vaccine safety in a bid to improve understanding, foster confidence in vaccines and encourage uptake among people to curb the spread of diseases in the country. Speaking during the national cohort event monitoring for COVID-19 vaccine forum in Nairobi, the stakeholders led by Dr. Bramwell Tangola from the Pharmacy and Poisons Board said misinformation and disinformation on the effectiveness of immunization largely contributed to reduce uptake of the various COVID-19 vaccines among Kenyans. They at the same time emphasized the importance of continuously monitoring the quality and effectiveness of health products in the country.
Use of the existing systems that we do have, because at the board we have existing systems to monitor the safety of these vaccines. So basically it's to put the information out there, and when events do occur, and it's expected that they do occur, we monitor them and we respond to them appropriately. When COVID-19 started, there was a lot of misinformation, disinformation out there, but with that also the government put in place measures just to counter that, where there was mass education, there was training that happened, and with that we saw that slowly over time the vaccine uptake actually was taken up by the public.
Program that was very key, and the Ministry of Health in terms of communicating and just demystifying the misinformation that is out there about the COVID-19 vaccines. And I know the Mpox vaccine, when it is here, the same also strategies will be employed.
And now we cross over to Mombasa County, where the National Construction Authority Summit is currently underway. And currently speaking is Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome. Let's listen in.
I think the country knows you now. Is that so? Are we speaking the same? Yes, I really appreciate your presentation. It was quite deep, and you have brought out very many issues that interact with us daily. Some of them we are blind to, and I think highlighting and speaking to them helps in the inclusivity discussion. Then we have various presidents and chairpersons of the people who are here, including distinguished participants. Feel very much welcome as the chief guest, but also the cabinet secretary in this ministry. The ministry is Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. Susan, I will forgive you because even me, I took time. I used to interchange those the way they are arranged there, but now I know it's Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. I think it's the longest. We have 3 state departments. So, dear participants, we have this morning listened to several presentations, and I want to say that I appreciate, I have an idea because I have seen the program of what went in the morning and what will go on in the afternoon and the next 2 days. And I am privileged myself as a cabinet secretary to be the chief guest and to speak here this morning, this afternoon. And therefore, allow me, I will make 1 or 2 very short remarks off the cuff because I have a written speech. Sometimes it's better because the mic can be very tempting. And therefore, allow me to go straight into my written speech. But I want to say that I like the theme, leveraging on MSMEs and technology. I was looking at it and wondering whether Susan had not seen my team in advance, because you see we are discussing MSMEs, which is her sector, but of course we have technology and how we can work to support, to be supported and to have it resilient and of course sustainable. Sustainability is a problem in this country and elsewhere in development, and when you work without thinking about sustainability, then your projects or your programs collapse at the end of it all, notwithstanding the investment. I know I'm speaking to my colleagues, professionals, in different sectors, but mainly now today, we are calling ourselves people in the construction industry or in construction sector. And I'm glad to note that we are getting women on board. When we were in the holding room, we discussed that and we will come up with a strategy to have more women, persons living with disability and youth in the sector, and especially the big construction contracts. The big contracts should also go to women, youth, and persons living with disability. There is a lot of money, not necessarily small money, in the construction industry, and we are the people who move this industry. And therefore, NCA, of course, being our regulator, is a critical organization or agency, and I want to commend my principal secretary and his CEO, Maurice Akech, for ensuring that this conference takes place. I know we have partners who have enabled us reach where we are, and this being the 5th, it's a lot of work, and I like the fact that you put it not annually, every 2 years, and maybe I think going that forward, that is still maybe the way we should leave it. But to bring this kind of number in a conference is not easy. But I also want to hope that we are not here because of gaining the points. You know, I've been a lawyer in practice, and you cannot get your annual certificate without securing points. So I know that the subjects that we are discussing are very key and very interesting, and will help in development of the professionals who are here. Distinguished guests, esteemed partners, ladies and gentlemen, it is with profound honor and privilege that I stand before you today at this very important conference in the construction industry with the theme leveraging the potential of MSMEs and technology for a resilient and sustainable construction industry. This conference marks a significant step in supporting MSMEs in realizing their full potential across the economy, and specifically the construction industry. Micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises are vital in achieving sustainable development goals. They are an important element of SDGs, SDG 8 and SDG 9. That is, of course, decent work and economic growth, together with industry innovation and infrastructure. Kenya's economy heavily relies on MSME sector, and we've heard from our principal secretary. And you know, Susan is one of the youngest principal secretaries, and I really like the way she handles her docket, which provides employment to millions, spurs innovation, and contributes significantly to the GDP. However, the sector is often faced with challenges, including limited access to finance, inadequate infrastructure, regulatory and compliance constraint, limited market access and stiff competition, skills and capacity gaps, in technological challenges, we know that, and weak institutional support and networking. The MSME sector is among the prioritized sectors under the better model that which aims to bring down the cost of living, eradicate hunger, create jobs, expand the tax base, improve the country's foreign exchange balance, as well as inclusive growth. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda envisages the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector to be a catalyst in the creation of employment and livelihood opportunities, particularly for the poor, the marginalized groups. The government has supported the growth of MSMEs through initiatives aimed at creating a conducive environment for MSMEs to thrive. Despite the support, MSME's survey report for 2016 indicated that an average of 46.3% establishments closed within the first year of operation, and I think that has not really changed today. Empowering MSMEs requires collective action involving governments, businesses, civil society, and international organizations. We cannot solely count on MSMEs to continue their work in achieving the SDGs without supportive policies and guidelines for their growth. MSMEs need a framework anchored in a stable, consistent policy environment that promotes their growth. Within the context of the affordable housing program, under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the sector has employed close to 200,000. My numbers are at 160 without inclusion of the current procurements that we are closing. 160,000 construction workers and contractors. The architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, and other professionals have been directly engaged in this remarkable program, and therefore the construction sector has and is still contributing to the development of MSMEs in large scale. I think I should be a very good darling of the sector, because we are creating jobs. Distinguished guests, and of course the professionals. No work can continue in this industry without the professionals, and take it from me as a lawyer, I insist on quality, and quality and standards cannot be assured or achieved without applying the skills and experiences of our professionals, fully qualified people. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the recently launched National Building Code 2024 provides for...
Well, that is Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome, who is currently the chief guest at the International Construction Research Conference and Exhibition that is currently underway in Mombasa, which kicked off Wednesday, and the curtains will fall come Friday. Well, the theme is leveraging the potential of MSMEs and technology for a resilient and sustainable construction industry. The CS has stated that empowering MSMEs will require an all-inclusive approach to promote their growth. Now, in other news, police in Narok town have in the custody 3 men arrested in connection with the murder of a 38-year-old man whose body was found dumped along the Muslim Graveyard Road last week. Narok Central Deputy Sub-County Commissioner Kennedy Mangombe said the 3 suspects are assisting police in the investigations. Now let's talk business. Microfinance institutions are calling for harmonization of regulations governing the subsector. Associations of Microfinancial Institutions Chairperson Oscar Marigi says the current multi-agency regulations has increased the cost of compliance and overall cost of doing business. The association is also keen on having a single regulatory body.
What we are asking is an opportunity to effectively contribute and make impactful contribution to the socio-economic development of the nation in an environment that is conducive, fair and progressive. A well-designed regulatory framework will not only enhance transparency, consumer protection, credible industry that fosters public confidence, attracts the investment, and one that prioritizes consumer protection, but also stimulate innovation and growth.
The government of Kenya is committed to working with private sector to ensure that our collective objective of promoting financial inclusion to the bottom of the pyramid is achieved for everyone.
The Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute is challenging elected leaders to play a leading role in creating awareness about the services of various government development agencies. KD Chairperson Peter Mosited says the institute plays a critical role in advancing the government's development agenda of value addition through research, but its facilities countrywide remain largely underutilized due to what he terms as lack of awareness among majority of Kenyans. Technology transfer to small-scale industrialists is among the myriad of benefits, especially to the youth who are being encouraged to embrace self-employment.
Currently in our country, we have this habit whereby after school, people just want to be employed. We want to say, even after school, you can be incubated and you become an industrialist. Even for those who are working and they feel, okay, they want to make more money, Kirdi is there. It can really facilitate you. You become an employer yourself. So we just want to sensitize and tell leaders, instead of having quite a number of youth following you because of unemployment, can you at least come and incubate them with us? Can you pay for some training? We train them on how to become industrialists. Then from there, at least, they also go and create wealth for the country.
This is a public institution, a national public institution. So anybody has got the right to come in and seek our services. You simply walk in, come into our offices, you shall be met by our officers, and then we shall actually work out an agreement on how we can actually assist you. So we do one, when you come to us, we shall train you, that's number one. Then after you've trained you, we also realize that many people do not have the capacity to actually procure the machines on their own. So we actually allow you to we incubate you within our facility, whereby we allow you to use our machines for 6 to 12 months as you test the market. Then once you are confident that you can be able to sell out your product, you can now be able to acquire your machine. So that's the model that we use as an institution to ensure that we actually pass out this knowledge to the people.
My message to my fellow youth is that we don't have to wait to be employed to really earn a living. We are all potential entrepreneurs, and I think all we need to do is to look for more information from our officials.
I went on the internet, and that's how I found Kirdi, that they had already started the research on processing fish, processing the skin of the fish. So we partnered with them, and it has been a journey. We've explored together, and it has brought very good fruits to our company, yes.
And on sports news, the Kenya men's handball team is scheduled to play Burundi this evening in the 7th place game on the ongoing African Men Youth Championship in Tunisia. They had hoped to beat Algeria in the 5th to 8th place semi-finals yesterday, but it was not to be as they were beaten 38-28. The Kenyan men's team began their campaign in Group B, where they were determined to leave their presence felt, but lost all their matches against host Tunisia, Libya and Morocco. They, however, proceeded to the quarterfinals, where they faced Egypt, who beat them 55-14, before the North Africans overcame Morocco in the semi-finals to book a final place against host Tunisia. Moses Omondi Sialo of Trailblazers Volleyball Club has inked a season-long deal with Tunisian and continental volleyball giants Moledia Sportive de Busia. The Kenyan international has signed an 8-month deal with the Tunisian side. This is the third time he is playing abroad, having featured professionally in Oman and Iraq. Sialo becomes the second big exit for Trailblazers following the departure of head coach Geoffrey Omondi, who was recently appointed as the new Kenya Pipelines tactician. Now, Christopher Nkunku was the hero for Chelsea when he scored a hat-trick in their 5-0 drubbing of Barrow in their English League Cup third-round match at the Stamford Bridge. The Blues were also gifted an own goal by the League Two-side keeper Paul Farman before Pedro Neto found his way into the score sheet. Jeremy Doku and Matthias Nunes were on target for Manchester City when they beat Watford 2-1 at Etihad. Aston Villa beat Wycombe by the same margin in another match to progress to the last 16.
Squeeze the ball through. He managed it. This is Felix. Oh, that's beautiful for Christopher Nkunku to feather it in for 1-0 Chelsea. Nkunku, the man who gets the goal, but a big slice of the credit goes to Joao Felix there. It was a wonderful pass. That's going to run and over the head of Gusto, but it's come nicely for Neto. Plenty of options for him here. Leading players on the edge of the box. He backfield it to Gusto. Oh, that's brilliant! What a goal from Christopher Nkunku for his second of the game. Audacious from the Frenchman. He's on a hat-trick, and we've only played for 15 minutes. A thing of beauty from Christopher Nkunku. This with Malo Gusto coming forward now, tug on the shirt from Sam Foley, and that is going to be the first yellow card of the night. We'll have to take it at some point. It is going to be Felix. He's flipped it. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely magnificent, Joao Felix to put Nkunku on a hat-trick. He can play it for Neto or for Mudryk. There's Mudryk, Neto for his first Chelsea goal. A thing of beauty. Brilliant move. Make more of that. Oh, Nkunku's wrestled it back for the hat-trick. And Nkunku's not bothered about that. His first Blues hat-trick. Chelsea's 5th goal of the night.
Well, that's the sports news of the day. Thank you so much for keeping it KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. My name is Jackie Wambiru. For more news, check out our website at kbc.co.ke. Enjoy the rest of the day.
To see the manager.
I'm the manager.
Do you know who I am?
Christopher Likopi.
So you chose to work with Ronald. Probably some things can be bought after all.
At this point, it's about what's right and wrong. How much is Kaikara paying you?
Did I just hear my father's name?
Meaning the attitude? I'm not pleased with the decision that you made without consulting me. What decision? Lucky. She's after my blood. That one.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here to talk about my sport that I play. I play golf. It's a very nice sport. This is a driver. A driver is the strongest club of all clubs. It helps you hit the ball as far as you can.
And today's story takes us under the ocean. And under the ocean we meet Squiglet Pig.